Hey everyone, welcome to the Gilbert.K show. Today, we're thrilled to welcome a true master of voice and storytelling. With over a decade behind the mic and a lifetime on stage, Kathy Verduin has brought life to everything from classic fairy tales to national TV commercials and corporate campaigns. You've heard her on Jazzy Vegetarian, Audible, and in brand campaigns for Charles Schwab, Amex, and more. Whether it's a warm, welcoming tone or a zany character voice, Kathy delivers every time. Get ready to go behind the scenes with the incredible voice that's been heard around the world. Kathy Verduin.
Hey Kathy, how are you today?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Very good, very good. Before we dive in, let's take a moment and watch or listen to a sample of your one of the demos, one of your projects. Can you describe what we're going to listen to?
I believe this one is 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, and it's a collaboration with Mike Hall, who did the music for it, and I did the narration for it.
Okay, let's listen and watch.
When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below.
Okay, great. Can you start a little bit, telling me a little bit what the voiceover actor do? What is voiceover?
Well, first of all, voiceover is usually the narration behind something. We are the best kept secret in the world, Gilbert. Nobody knows who we are, unless you're a movie star, then they usually know who you are. But if you think about when you watch a commercial on TV, you don't know who's doing that commercial. I found out that the star of the TV show This Is Us, his name I believe is Chris Sullivan, he did a camel commercial for an insurance company that I was so impressed with. I looked up and I found it was him. Nobody would know that.
Yeah.
It's a shame, really.
I know. Great. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself and what sparked your interest in voice-over acting?
Sure. I was a performer all my life, and I've been on a stage performer, singer, musicals, and I did that forever. And you get to the point, though, where you're not getting the leading roles anymore. So I thought, okay, what can I go into and still be a legitimate performer, but not have to worry about what I look like?
Yeah.
And that was voiceover. So what happened was interesting, though. I was at a wedding, and I read at the wedding. A woman came up to me after the wedding and said, "Did you ever consider voiceover?" She said, "You would be great at it." Well, I knew what it was, but I looked into it, I started training in it, and that's basically how I got into it. I started from a wedding.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. What a coincidence.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So what was one of your most memorable experience when you started out, other than the wedding
This
experience?
was a good one, actually. I lived on a lake in New Jersey, and unbeknownst to me, many of the people on the lake were either performers or singers. They were in the performing industry. So my neighbor she had done Broadway musicals. And she and I went to a diner one day and said, "What are we going to do now?" So I decided voiceover. She started a TV show called The Jazzy Vegetarian, and she asked me to do her commercials.
Wow.
So
Okay.
that's actually how I got started. So I did 10 seasons of Jazzy Vegetarian commercials.
Wow.
That's on YouTube now. She's on YouTube now. You can check it out.
Yeah. Great. And how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Actress, voice artist.
Okay.
Actress, voice
Was
artist.
artist. Three
Yeah.
words.
Well,
Um,
I took advantage.
so what's one fact about you that most people might not know?
I love to go horseback riding,
Okay.
and I love dogs.
Good,
So
good.
I have always had a dog forever. So
Uh,
that's one of my favorite animals.
That's great. And okay, so my next segment is a small game we play on the show. It's called This or That. And in this fun game, I'll give you 2 options. And you have to pick the one you like the most or the one that fits you better. There are no wrong answers, and you don't need to explain your choice unless you would like to. It's all about fun decisions and quick to show us more about you and for the audience to get to know you. Are you ready, Kathy?
Yes,
Okay, let's do it. Um, Animation voice acting or video game voice acting?
animation.
Studio recording or remote recording?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
Studio
that.
recording or remote recording?
Video.
Remote. Okay. Deep dramatic narration or energetic commercial voiceover?
Oh, deep dramatic
Okay.
narration.
Narration. Dubbing for foreign films or voiceover for audiobooks?
Voiceover for audiobooks.
Natural conversational style or epic movie trailer voice?
Oh, that's a hard one. That is a hard one. I've never done movie trailers, but I can do that type of voice. I'm going to have to go with the one I do, though, the natural voiceover,
Natural.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, conversational style. Character voice acting or corporate professional voiceovers?
What was the first one?
Character voice acting.
Character.
Voice.
Definitely. Love doing characters. Accents.
Yeah. Long form narration or short, high impact ads?
I do long form narration all the time, so I do audiobooks, so long form narration.
Right, sure. Voicing a villain or voicing a hero?
Voicing a villain. Yes. It's more fun.
Yeah. ADR or live action dubbing?
Oh. I think live action dubbing.
More dubbing.
Yeah.
Big,
I think more fun.
yeah. Big budget project with a small role or indie project with a major role?
Indie project with a major role.
Great. Okay. Can you tell me about the journey or inspiration behind your work or any work or project?
Oh, sure. The journey was I was fortunate because my neighbor invited me into it. So I just proceeded on from there. And with more and more narration, I had, actually, it's a co-narrator of mine now, invite me into his audiobook company.
Okay.
So early on, I was invited to do audiobooks. And I kind of started out, besides the commercials I did for Jazzy Vegetarian, I kind of jumped into audiobooks early on. And so that got a good taste of long form narration. That took it. But I've done other things. I've done e-learning. I've done commercials. I've done white papers. I've done technical narration, like
Wow.
hazmat. That's
Yeah.
lots of big words in that.
So what do you prefer the most? What's your what would be your dream project?
Now, that's a two-point question, okay?
Yeah.
All right, let me answer that by what would I prefer the most. I
Yeah.
truly enjoy character work because
Yeah.
I do accents and dialects pretty well. So I do a lot of that in my audiobook work.
Hmm.
But you said, what would my dream project be?
Yeah.
I would love to narrate a documentary. So,
Okay.
any listeners out there, ring me up because I would love to narrate a documentary. I just listened to Tom Hanks doing the America one,
Yeah.
and I could just see myself doing that. I can do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I would like that.
That's amazing. And how did your experience or experiences shape your approach to voiceover acting?
Okay, my experience actually was all of the stage performing that I did because I did a lot of character work in my stage performing. So I was never afraid to be behind a microphone or get in front of people. I you get past that when you perform a lot. So
Yeah.
my speaking and my narrating, it came naturally based on my performing background. So
Hmm.
I would say that's what gave me the inspiration to go into it.
Okay. And what do you recommend for people they think they have a good voice to get into the field? What do they need to do? What recommendations do you have?
I highly, highly, highly recommend that they get good training. It is
Yeah.
so important that they get good training because you can't just buy a microphone and get behind it and say, okay, I'm going to be a voiceover star. It
Yeah,
does
yeah.
not work that way. It doesn't.
Okay.
So I started out with Susan Berkeley, and I stayed with Susan Berkeley for probably close to 2 years. I
Oh,
did her
wow.
boot camps in New York at Edge Studios. They're
Hmm.
wonderful. I
Yeah.
did a lot of practice work and a lot of volunteering. I volunteered for Learning Ally for more than a
Hmm.
year.
Yeah.
And all this stuff comes into play until you get to the point where you can make a setup like
Mhm.
this or similar, and then you start marketing yourself. And
Yeah.
people think there's not, they think it's just jump behind a mic and start speaking.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you need to contact people. You need to get in
Of course.
groups. You need to know people and get your name out there. And
Yeah.
once you do
Yeah.
get your name out there, people start inviting you to do things.
Yeah.
And that's what you want.
That's
People that
true.
keep coming back.
So is it like voiceover acting? It's like acting. You'll need, so once you get trained, I guess you will have a special agents. Are they the same agents or different agents?
There are voiceover agents.
Agents
Yes,
specialized for that. Okay.
there are voiceover agents. Actually, there are several of them around and
Yeah.
outside, around the country as well. So
Hmm.
I personally, I don't have an agent. Um, I
Yeah.
haven't, I haven't needed one
You didn't
for the
need
work
to.
I do.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not saying I don't recommend if you want to have an agent, sure.
Yeah. 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 Got it. Are there any breathing exercises you do before you take a narration or a project or something?
Well, since I'm a singer, I
Oh wow.
know like deep diaphragm breathing and I know how to open the airways and the mask and the whole thing like that. So
Yeah.
I know vocal exercises. But the best thing for a narrator is tongue twisters. tongue
Okay.
twisters, and any of those that you can do that get the jaw working and the tongue and the
Yeah.
lips for clarity. That's what you want.
Oh,
And
wow.
yes, yeah, I try to do some form of warm up before each of my either auditions or narrations or audiobooks,
Hmm.
whatever.
So what interests you? You said you like character voiceover. So what interests you in a project? Is it the director, the story, or like what interests you the most? What captures your interest to get like what makes you tick on a project? What would you want to do?
What captures me the most is a couple of things. It's
Okay.
the storyline and the
Yeah.
characters in it.
Hmm.
The audiobooks that I have done have all been self-directed, so I've not worked with a director, but
Yeah.
I've worked with plenty of directors on stage. So
Okay.
that goes without saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the story. It's how the
Yeah.
characters are presented. And as I mentioned, I like the characters that have more spirit, more.
Yeah.
If they're a villain, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they come from, say, somewhere that has a dialect, that's great.
Yeah.
I did in one of my Agatha Christie mystery books. In that one book, I did two accents,
Hmm.
the British accent and also
Okay.
Bavarian accent. So I really enjoy it, and I enjoy showing the differentiation in characters. That's
Hmm.
fun.
Wow, that's great. So so for example, you got a project, let's say long form or a character voiceover. How do you tackle the dialogue? What do you do? What do you do to prepare for it?
That's a great question because it's probably more involved than people think. In audiobooks, let me put it that way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In audiobooks, when you get the book, you must read the book
Yeah.
because you don't know what's going to happen at the end. So you
Hmm.
must read the book. Then, if my characters, like the book I'm doing now, the people are from Mississippi,
Yeah,
but I'm playing all of the female characters in this.
yeah.
So, in order for me to determine between each character, I highlight them in a different color.
Okay.
So, the daughter is blue. Her daughter is highlighted in yellow.
Yeah, yeah,
The mother is green. So and I get these colors in my mind so that
yeah.
when I come to each character, I know what their tone of voice is. I know if they have a deep voice or if they have a higher
That's
voice.
amazing. Wow,
So that's
that's
how I do
great.
it. A lot of
Wow.
uh, other
Yeah,
people will make files up for each character, audio files, so
yeah,
they can
yeah, yeah.
hear it, especially if they're doing a series of books.
So how do you determine, like, for example, you have an assignment, like you were saying, I don't know, like a daughter, a mother, and a grandmother. How do you figure out what's the tone and I guess it's from experience, or I'm not sure. Yeah,
Well,
how do you do that?
what I do is by
Okay.
their age and by their character personality.
Yeah.
Like if I had somebody that was in their 20s, I would probably present it on a higher level like this and I would add more energy to it.
Got
If
it.
I had somebody who was older, I would present
Yeah.
it in a lower voice and it would probably be a little bit slower.
Got it. Okay.
So it's energy levels
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it's sound.
That's
In this
amazing.
book, I portray somebody that goes all the way from 7 years old all the
Yeah.
way up to in her 40s.
Wow.
So I needed to show that transition.
Yeah, yeah. And how do you stay in character? Like, for example, you might have a dialogue between two characters, one younger, one like different age. How do you pivot from one character to another? Is there something you do?
That's a great question too, Gilbert. It's something, actually, my co-narrator, who is also publishing the book, asked
Yeah,
me, do you want to do one character at a time?
yeah,
Because we're not, he lives in Colorado, so we
yeah,
don't even see each other on this. So we record
yeah,
separately. He
yeah,
said, do you want to do one character at a time, or do you want to do them all continuous? And I
yeah,
said, I want to do it all continuous because I want
yeah,
the storyline.
yeah.
And so what I do is, again, it's by color. I
Wow.
see blue, I know the tone of that character. I see green, I know
Yeah,
that's her daughter. So I
yeah,
know I have to shift into the daughter frame of mind to deliver that.
yeah, yeah.
And I don't, but I've been doing this, I've been in the
Yeah, for a
industry
long
for
time.
17 years.
Yeah, yeah,
So I know I can do it now in a
yeah,
conversational tone. I probably
yeah,
sound crazy because I can do three characters. I'm having a conversation with myself
yeah,
in three different characters.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it's very interesting, but I have it down now where I can, in my mind, I flip,
yeah,
from
yeah.
character to character, and you
Wow.
become these different people. That's what
Yeah,
I love about
especially if you
performing.
have accent. Some like characters you have accent, then you have to switch back to non-accent, and that's
Actually,
amazing.
all of these women have that Mississippi. They're from Mississippi. They have
Yeah,
that
yeah, that for
southern
that
accent.
project.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they all have, but the sound of their voice is different.
different. Yeah,
But the accent is the same.
yeah, yeah.
So that's the good
So
part.
yeah, that's the easy. So do you record on your own just to see if there's how is the difference and to figure out if you're on the right track on your own? You do that, right?
Well, I do all this work that I'm doing now is really on my own. I record by myself here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm not recording with him.
Got
Whereas
it. Yeah,
a high, probably one of the bigger publishers would invite the entire cast into their studio and they
yeah, yeah, yeah.
record all together.
Yeah, yeah,
I have not done a book yet where I record together with anybody. so
yeah.
so
Wow.
my co-narrator takes my
Yeah,
line
files. Yeah, yeah.
and he puts them in with his.
Okay.
So he puts the whole book together and
Yeah.
then he sends it out to the publisher. So,
Wow.
yeah, he does a lot of work, but he's playing all the male characters. Mike
Yeah, yeah.
Vendetti, he's wonderful. He's an Earphones Award winner. He's very
Wow.
good. Yeah.
That's amazing. Um, so what was one unexpected challenge you faced when you started?
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, okay. I am not a technical person. All
Yeah,
right. That's not my forte at all. So when I first started, I had to learn the recording software.
yeah.
And that, I believe me, it wasn't that hard once I got it underneath my
Of
belt
course, yeah.
because you do the same thing pretty much over and over and
Once you
over
do it
again.
once. Yeah, that's true.
Yes, once you do it once. And there were tutorials and it's funny because Mike Hall, who was on one of your podcasts,
Yeah,
Mike Hall is like my savior when it comes to technical things.
yeah,
He every time I have a problem, I call him up or I get on Zoom with him and I say, "Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that." And
yeah,
he helps me. He knows. He knows how
yeah.
to do it. So technical, that was my challenge.
Okay, okay. So how do you see voiceover acting evolving in the next few years? And do you are you worried? Not worried, but are you um, scared of AI? Because there's lots of AI stuff now. You can just put the paragraph and then it does it for you.
That is the first, when you first said that, that was the first thing that came to my mind. What's going to be the
Yeah,
future of voiceover?
yeah,
And AI has hit and spread so quickly.
yeah,
I just recently took a class with, I think his name is John Deere, Dheere. The
yeah.
class was excellent because he made a comparison between a human reading, we would read something, and then he would play the AI version of it. Well, the
Okay.
ones he played in the beginning weren't so good, but the
Yeah,
ones he played at the end were amazingly close to the
wow.
human interpretation of it.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's a little scary, but what I have to say is AI cannot duplicate the emotions, the compassion, and the
that's true.
on the mark reactions that a
Yeah,
human voice can have. So you can use AI all you want. If you want to save money, you can use AI all you want, but you cannot get better than a human voice to work with
yeah,
because
yeah,
AI is not going to give you warmth.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. That's
sure,
true.
you can do it ahead of time, but you cannot do it on the spot with them.
It will be digitized. It will be, yeah,
Yes,
yeah. I
yes.
tried it, actually, I tried it with my voice.
Did
It
you?
took out all my accent, my heavy accent, and then it sounded weird. It sounded robotic a little bit, but it used
Exactly.
my voice. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
It's very, and you can get it in any language now.
that's true.
I mean, it's amazing. And there are auditions all over the internet now for it.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody is looking for you. They want voice actors to machine
yeah,
train
yeah.
their machines for AI.
Wow.
Thank heaven NAVA, National Association of Voice Actors, thank heaven NAVA went to Washington and
Yeah,
they went to the Capitol and they fought for us to get paid when
yeah.
our voice is being used over and over again in these AI situations.
Hmm.
Because you have to have a person train that machine.
Yeah,
And then your voice goes out in different replications.
yeah,
So you deserve to be paid for, excuse me, wherever your voice is used.
yeah,
And that's the law now. They did get a
yeah,
law passed, and I'm really
yeah.
happy about that.
Just yeah, just to trigger a question for me. Um, do you recommend, like, for example, in here in Canada, like if you join the ACTRA, and I think in the States it's SAG-AFTRA probably. If you join the union, then as a starter, it will be hard for you to. First, you need like lots of requirements. You need a few projects to be able to join. But then once you join, there's limited options, and you can do indie work. It's only your here. I don't know. I think in the States probably you can. Is the voiceover union? Not sure. Sorry, I'm not sure what is it called. Is it like part of the SAG after or something else? It's the same.
Voiceover is part of SAG-AFTRA now.
Okay.
Actually, they even went so far as they have an audiobook area in their
Okay.
SAG-AFTRA union now too. So yes, it is in there. And granted, you get paid more money for being in the union, which is
Yeah.
great. I'm
Yeah.
not in
Yeah.
the union. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not against it. I'm just not in it.
Yeah.
So I have more opportunity not being
Yeah.
in the union.
Yeah.
So I never, Although I do want to go to the bigger publishing companies for audiobooks. And like
Yeah.
you said, I talked to them. They will let you do 2 books, and
Yeah.
then you need to join the union.
Got it. Okay.
So you get 2 books with them and then join the
Yeah.
union.
Okay. Um, okay. So let's listen to another a clip, a sample of your one of your work. What we're gonna be listening, Kathy.
Oh, this is my character demo. And this is called a sizzle demo because I think it's only a little bit over a minute. I just love doing characters, and you'll see that each one of these is totally different. So it's fun. It's fun to listen to.
Okay.
Oh, a girl can get a cold. Then all of a sudden, they hear a mighty rumbling and a roaring. Ho, 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 boys and girls. Yes, it's Mrs. Claus. Hi, y'all. My name is Nippy. This is my new home where I live with other special animals.
Okay, great. So how do you stay motivated and inspired, especially during challenging times?
I think once you get into the routine of doing it,
Hmm.
you know that if you don't keep up with the determination, your name is not going to stay out there.
Hmm.
So I'm on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is your friend. It's a great
Yeah,
place to be. And I look up people on LinkedIn. I network with them. And you just keep going as much as you can. I have a little short story, very short story.
yeah, yeah,
When I
yeah.
was on VO Radio Online, this is a radio station for all about voiceover run by Anthony Reese. Great guy.
Hmm.
And I was giving out an award to a woman who is in the Latino realm, and she did all the sports announcements for
Hmm.
the Latino, I think it was football.
Yeah,
And she's known. And I said to her, "Do you still audition?" And she said, "Oh, yes." And I
yeah,
said, "How many auditions do you do?"
yeah.
She said, "I do 50 a day,
Wow.
a day."
I guess
And
it's a numbers game.
it's a numbers game because,
Yeah,
again, the more you get out there, the more
yeah,
people know about you, and
yeah,
they'll turn around and contact you.
yeah,
So
yeah,
this woman, who's got a reputation already for being good,
yeah.
still auditions 50 times a day.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot, 50.
Yes. It, yep. It's a lot, but it's so worth it.
Yeah, yeah.
It is worth it.
So we're getting close to the end of the show. Let's let's listen to another sample of your work. What's the last one we're gonna listen to?
Oh, this was a really I enjoyed doing this one a lot. This is a review that I did for a media company for Beyonce's album Lemonade.
Cool.
It was
Okay.
fun.
Okay, let's listen.
Kathy Verduin. Why Lemonade is for Black Women. Dominique Matty. I saw Beyonce suffering how I have, under the weight of that specific betrayal. I saw it, and I knew that the betrayal she experienced had nothing to do with whether or not we were difficult, and everything to do again with being the collateral damage of somebody else's pain. But we were not vessels. We are not servants, propellers of plots, vehicles of self-discovery. We do not belong to the world to do as it pleases with impunity.
Okay, great. Um, you touched a little bit on that. How can our audience connect with you or learn about your work? You said LinkedIn, any other platforms or Yeah.
Yes, besides Facebook, my website is www.voicealive.net,
Okay.
and Kathy V at voicealive.net is my email.
Great. Okay. Are there any upcoming projects or collab? Or sorry. Are there any upcoming projects or collaborations you're excited about?
Yes, absolutely. The audiobook that I'm doing right now with Mike Vendetti is The Sound and the Fury by Faulkner.
Okay.
It's a very intense literary classic. But this
Yeah.
is the one where I do all of the women in it and he does all of the men. That may not release for another couple months now because it's
Yeah.
so involved. It really
Wow.
is. He writes in stream of consciousness, which has
Yeah.
no punctuation.
Hmm.
So we have to interpret all of that. No
Wow.
punctuation. The other one, I'm doing another collaboration with Mike Hall.
Okay.
And Mike Hall is going to be doing the music for, we're not sure of the name yet, but Mike Hall is going to be doing the music for, it's One Solitary Life. So I'll do the
Hmm.
narration for it, and he will do his own composing for that particular audiobook.
Okay. Great. And one last thing, who would you like to thank or acknowledge for supporting you in your journey?
Oh, there's a lot of people, but I won't put you through everybody. I have to thank my husband Alan, who's always supportive of what I'm doing. But the person in the industry the most, the two of them, is Mike Hall again, because he has saved me so many times. And he's worked with me on projects and he's done a lot of things. We've worked a lot together, but he's a great support.
Yeah.
And then the second Mike is Mike Vendetti, the one that I've done 10 audiobooks with now, co-narrated. And he just keeps asking me back, which is wonderful. So
That's
he's
amazing.
another one.
Yeah, that's all, Kathy. That's all, folks. Kathy Verduin, everyone. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you for being on the show. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for having me.
Thank you. You're welcome.